First tonight, there's been another deadly shark attack off a West Australian beach.
On the morning of July 14th, 2012, longtime friends and avid surfers Benjamin Linden and Ryan James Soulis found themselves gearing up for another adventure at a popular surf spot located just south of Western Australia's Wedge Island. As the warm Australian sun cast its glow upon the azure waves, the conditions were ideal for yet another memorable surf. Little did the pair realize, however, that a massive shark had other plans in mind. This is the horrifying true story of Benjamin Linden's fatal encounter with one of our ocean's most formidable predators. Born in Subiaco, Australia on January 15th of 1988, Benjamin Charles Linden was a man full of dreams and ambition. Living in Osborne Park with his partner Alana Julie Noakes, the young couple would go on to buy a house and start a family. Known for his warm smile and friendly nature, Linden was said to have greeted familiar faces with a genuine enthusiasm that radiated from within. He was not only an accomplished surfer, but also a talented musician and a skilled cabinet maker. His creativity flowed effortlessly between the waves and his craft, leaving an indelible mark on the lives of those who knew him. Linden's main occupation is a subterranean surveyor, and his passion for surfing kept him in above average physical fitness, and this would aid him in overcoming asthma problems he'd suffered early in his childhood, allowing him to no longer need to depend on the occasional use of an inhaler. His career, of course, went hand in hand with his love for the seas, allowing him to not only explore their hidden depths, but also enhancing his deep personal connection to them. On that fateful Saturday morning in July of 2012, Linden and Soulis embarked on their journey from the Perth metropolitan area to a remote beach near Wedge Island. The destination was a spot known as Dolphins to locals, or formerly Diddy Bay, and was tucked away behind the boundary gate of the Lancelin Defense Training Area. The seasoned surfers were familiar with their early morning routine, making the many times long drives to seek favorable surfing conditions, much like they had done on numerous previous occasions. After negotiating the 500-meter distance from their parking spot to the beach, they would finally settle around 150 meters north of three other beachgoers. There was a harmony to their movements as they took to the water, enjoying their camaraderie and thrill of surfing, each absorbed in the rhythm of the ocean. After approximately half an hour, the friends relocated another 100 meters north, seeking better surf. Not far from them, two men, Holmes and Nathan Andrew Smith, were utilizing a jet ski to aid their own surfing endeavors. Another 20 minutes of tranquil surfing passed by when suddenly, Soulis felt a chilling presence near him. He would spot a large shadow circling beneath him, the unmistakable form of a great white shark looming ominously. The shark's proximity was so close, in fact, that Soulis could feel the spray from its gills. Fear gripped them both as they realized the immediate danger they were in. Desperate to escape, they then began to paddle for shore. It was at this point that suddenly the shark would then lunge towards Linden, who attempted to fend it off by kicking at it. This was when, to his severe misfortune, the massive shark clamped onto him with its mighty jaws, inflicting severe damage to his lower body. Soulis, propelled towards the shore by a small wave, watched as the shark circled Linden's motionless body. Holmes, who had witnessed the horrific scene unfold, raced back to shore to drop off Smith before heading back to assist Linden. As he rushed back to him, he noticed Linden floating face down in the water, with one leg missing and part of the other also gone. Like a scene straight out of a horror movie, the great white then reappeared once again, putting a barrier between Linden and Holmes' jet ski, thwarting his rescue attempt. Holmes would then helplessly watch as the shark once again seized Linden's body and swam towards the shore, and a few minutes later, Holmes would watch in horror as Linden's body was nowhere to be found in the shark's mouth as it swam right by him and back out to sea. Holmes and Soulis, united in their desperation, began scouring the waters for any sign of Linden. However, despite intense searches, all they would find is a surfboard with a bite taken out of it by the shark. Emergency services were promptly alerted, and a search was conducted across land, sea, and air. However, despite their thorough efforts, no traces of Linden were found. The bite mark on Linden's surfboard was later examined by Dr. Rory Macaulay, a senior research assistant with the Department of Fisheries, and his conclusion was sobering. The bite mark had indeed been made by a great white shark, just as Holmes and Soulis had reported, and it measured approximately 3.5 to 4 meters in length. Following the incident, beaches were closed by police who continued their search for Linden's remains, and the Department of Fisheries would discontinue their search for the suspect shark as the shark managed to effectively elude them behind the vast expanse of the ocean.
We sent some shark capture gear up and the order's been given for us to attempt to catch a shark if we're able to.
In the tight-knit coastal community, whispers of an impending tragedy had been circulating for days. In fact, local resident Paul Burke couldn't shake off the ominous sense of dread as he listened to reports of a looming danger lurking beneath the waves.
By the time I got out there, half of him had been taken, and the shark was circling, and the local surfers, they've been keeping a watchful eye on a particular shark that's earned itself a fearsome reputation. They've dubbed it Brutus, an apt name for a predator with a gut the size of a 44-gallon drum.
Burke's words echoed the collective unease that had settled upon the community, especially after the attack on Linden. In the wake of the tragedy, those who knew Linden were left to reconcile with the loss of a man who loved life and the ocean. His passion for surfing was well known, and his death, as a result of a shark attack, would go on to shake the local surfing community to its core.
They're a menace. You know, they really are. They're just, and this is not going to be the last fatality. There's going to be more and more and more every year.
While its death was ultimately ruled as misadventure, it served as a stark reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature, even to those most familiar with its rhythms. Despite his tragic demise, Benjamin Charles Linden's legacy lives on, not only in the memories of his partner Elena and his friends, but also in the broader surfing community that mourned his loss.
Just come out of the water and just, like, it was like it was eating a seal, just threw its body out of the water for this guy. There was just blood everywhere, and the shark came at me on the jet ski and tried to knock me off. I did another loop, and when I came back to the body, the shark took it.
I got straight back in the water, and I'm still surfing now, but it's not the same, unfortunately. Unfortunately for myself, I don't think I'll ever get the true enjoyment of surfing back.
If this episode piqued your interest, then our previous episode about multiple shark attacks that occurred just days apart from one another is likely to do the same. You can find it on the end screen of this video.